So this would be a little demo of this air purifier. First of all, you can go to see how you basically change the filters, which is basically you unclog it from this side. You do the same from that side. This whole panel comes off. You gotta remember though, this thing completely detaches, so do not let this fall or it'll scratch it very easily. So you take this onto the side. To remove this, you have 2 clicks right here. And right here, you get these out. Also, a neat little thing, there is a font right here that says the front, so you're never confused which way you're supposed to put it back. And also, this is on top, so you're never confused on maybe this goes on the bottom, maybe this goes on top. This is always going on top and on the front. You come here, and this is the odorizing filter that is, I think is charcoal maybe, and this is the second line of defense. Because the first line is actually this pre-filter, which you can wash and you do not ever have to replace. But the True HEPA filter in here is basically this giant slab of thing. As you can see, this is very robust and very thick, which means it'll filter out a lot of particles. And everything back here is one big piece. There is no other mechanism that you can unscrew it unless you count these in screws here. But yeah, you cannot access the fan normally. Another neat thing also is because this also has the front, so you're never confused on which way to put it in. You gotta make sure these 2 lips get into those holes or this filter will be installed incorrectly. So just make sure of that. And also this is gotta go inside the little hole down there too to make sure that it is installed correctly. And why you wanna be careful of that is because this can actually not turn on if it's not installed correctly at the filter. Because you can see right here, this thing is on currently, but if I take this off, then it shuts off. And as you notice, as I close it, it automatically turns on. So you gotta really make sure everything inside is installed correctly or this thing will not work properly. This is about the noise level of the first fan speed. That's the kind of air you're getting. Second level, the air you're getting. Third level, this is the type of air you're getting. Very strong, very powerful. And the eco mode is actually quieter than the first mode, I think, and less airflow too. And it's interesting because the eco mode will automatically turn the system off if it's been getting clean air for 30 minutes, and it will automatically turn back on if it detects worsening air quality. The ionizer you can turn off and on, the timer for 1 hour, 4 hour, 8 hour, and also the HEPA filter. The lights will light up to tell you if it needs to be changed, but when you do change it, you come and press this button so it slowly resets it by itself. As you notice too, this unique design lets it allow obviously air intake from the front, but also air intake from the sides and also from the bottom down there. Also has a neat little hole where you can kind of very easily pull it from this side. And also this last thing right here, this is the particle detector. So just to make sure once in a while to clean this thing so you're getting accurate readings. And the cable right now, it is around 6 feet. And as you can see in the bottom, there are no wheels. So this thing is not meant to be moved regularly. This thing is supposed to stay stationary. And quickly go over the measurements. Height is around 17, almost 18 inches. The sides are around 16.5 inches. The thickness of this thing is around 5 inches. Thickness of the back panel is around 4 inches, so the combined total is around 9 inches. The width of the back here is around 13.5. The height of the back panel is around 14 inches. So there you go, this is all the features and all the demo. And honestly, personally, this is probably one of the best air filters I've gotten because of how powerful the fans can get up to and how unique the features are. So honestly, I'm in love. So I want to go over some questions some people have had. The first of all, is the ion feature in here safe? Yes, the feature is completely safe. Basically how it works is that it emits a static charge to attract particles from the air, allowing them to be much easier to be vacuumed and sucked in. So it's not really anything dangerous or chemically or like that because it is, you know, still a static charge. You can basically generate your own static charge by rubbing your feet on the carpet. So it's not really anything to worry about. But if you do worry about it, you can turn it off right here with the button. How does the automatic mode work and what kind of sensors does it have? The automatic mode works basically the air indicator right here. When you put it on auto mode, it will adjust the fan speed based on the air indicator right in here. And what the sensor is, obviously the sensor comes in here, but you also have a kind of other particle sensor back here where you have to kind of clean regularly. This is the only maintenance that you really need for this machine. So you just make sure this is clean so it can be, you know, as pristine as possible when it comes to reading the air. Can you use the same filter as the 1512HH Coway air filter? And yes, you can. The air filter is the same. I can quickly show you here. The air filter is the same. It is basically the same kind of thick block right in here. So yeah, you can use it. How often should you change the air filter? Ideally, it will probably be 6 months, but depending on your usage, if you're really high usage, you have a lot of pets, you have a lot of odors, you probably need to change it maybe 4 months. But if you don't use it as often, your air quality is good, you maybe even stretch it out to like 8 to 12 months. But the recommended is 6 months. Does this air filter emit ozone? It does not emit ozone whatsoever, so you don't have to worry about that. It worked for 2 hours, then shut down for no reason. Plugged in 1 volts, speed 1 and 2 lights are blinking. It still does not work. What should I do? I haven't had that issue, but it could be potentially a filter issue because as you can see here, the light is on, everything is working, but if you take the filter off right here, everything shuts down. In the same way, if your filter is installed incorrectly inside, it will not turn on, it will not work regularly. So as you can see right here, everything is turned off, and watch what I put it on. It comes back on, so it has a special kind of detection inside to make sure everything is working correctly. So you need to make sure everything is installed correctly inside for it to work properly. What are the dimensions of this product? The front right here is around 15.5 inches. The thickness of the front is around almost 4 inches. And you can see the thickness of the back here is around 4.5. So it's around 9 inches in total right here. The height of the front part is around 17 inches. The height of the back part is around 13 inches. And the width of the back part is 13.5. And also the cord is 6 feet. How many deodorizing filters comes in the package? It only comes with 1 deodorizing package, but only 1 HEPA filter also, so just 1 of everything. On Amazon, it claims to capture as small as 0.01, but the box says 0.3 microns, which is correct. It captures 0.01 microns. Is this constructed entirely of steel? This is not constructed of steel at all, really. All I feel is plastic, but it is the harder and more durable plastic that I'm used to. So this thing, I'm assuming even though it's not made of steel, this will still last quite a long time. Is this purifier noise free? And as you can see, this is operating on the first fan speed. You can't really hear it. Second fan speed. Third fan speed, that is, quite loud, but also the air coming off of it is insane. What is the CADR rating for this purifier? The CADR rating is 247.5 for smoke, 232.2 for dust, and 241.3 for pollen. It is recommended for rooms up to 361, but if you do it at high speed, you do it for a long time, you can get up to spaces of like 800 square feet. So this thing is quite the beast, but also coming in quite a compact and surprisingly light package too. So that's why I really love this thing. Why I think this is better than the competition is really it being a bipolar device, which means that it's generating positive and negative ions into the air to attach itself to the airborne particles to make them a lot easier to be captured by the air filter. But if you're concerned about this for whatever reason, which I really don't think you should be concerned, there is a button right here to turn it off and on. So if you don't like that, don't worry about it. It also has a filter indicator that has different light levels of green, red, and yellow, which kind of give you a kind of heads up on whether or not you should be thinking about changing the filters. Instead of just being only at red, then you really need to change the filters. It gives you a small heads up. There's also the timer feature here that can go up to 1 hour, 4 hour, and 8 hour, which is very convenient, and you don't have to mess with, because a lot of the other filters, you need the app to get the timer, you need to have it scheduled or whatever. This is super convenient where you just press a button, you get an hour, press it again, 4 hours, press it another again, 8 hours. No mess, no hassle. The noise level is only at 24.4 dB on the lowest setting, which is insane. You can barely notice it. I have it on the first fan speed, as you can see, this whole time, and I doubt you can even hear it. I can put my mic right next to the fan. Maybe you can hear a little bit, but it's really, it's barely noticeable, which is ideal for kind of studying and for sleeping. So this is the ideal air filter because of that super low noise level. The HEPA filter is certified by the Association of Home Appliance Manufacturers for performance and efficiency, so you have no worries of whether or not this thing can output and output it in quality time. As a sleek design that does not take room in much spaces at all, this can fit into any room but also take up a lot less space compared to a lot of the other air filters that output the same amount of air. They're usually big and clunky and hard to move. This thing is light. Not only that, it has a special pre-filter right in here. Special pre-filter right in here that you can vacuum, you can wash. This thing catches hair and all the bigger particles, so your inner filters have to do less work, meaning they will have a longer lifespan, meaning they will save you more money in the long run. Not to mention, it has a special feature of letting you know if your filter is installed properly, because it will not work unless you install it properly. You take it off, it's not going, you put it back on, it pops on off, it starts by itself. Not to mention the multi-size suction level. Obviously, you can get air from the front, but also from the side with this panel right here, from the bottom, because there are a big slit right there, and also to the other side too, meaning it will get air from basically all sides. Last but not least, it has a 5-year warranty on all the parts and all the things that you would need for the machine, so you do not have to worry about it not lasting for at least 5 years. And even then, it will probably last longer because this thing is built for quality and built to last.